What's up, guys? So, a bit different to usual. I got some league content right now. Yeah, I am still a Yugi tuber, but I just felt like giving you guys a bit of a different style of video while I have a bit of a chat with you, and also just to try this kind of discussion thing out. I don't know, maybe some of you would be more interested in me still talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, but showing other things as well, because I have plenty of other interests. But yeah. Yeah, the main two things I'm going to be talking about. The first thing is the creator card project, so I'll go straight into that. So, as you guys know, or may not know, there is a creator card project going on with Konami. They're essentially pitting 16 decks against each other, and those 16 decks, essentially, they're going to be put against each other every week, and the winner is going to get a card, essentially get a card support in 2021. So, my opinion on that. I'll be honest, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. There's a lot of reasons why it feels like it's kind of like action for action's sake. That's how it feels for me. Yes, I guess some people are going to be like, I'm a pessimist, I'm just complaining for no reason, all of this. Look, I'm just being honest. The problem I have with it is a couple of things. So firstly, I'll just quickly read out the decks that are coming on, and I feel like this will help to explain it. So firstly, the decks are Weather Painters, Gradle, Dynamist, Lightsworn, Valkyrie, Inzektor, Sylvan, Cyber Angel, Fire King, X-Sabers, Fortune Ladies, Hazy Flame, Mermail, Photon, TG, and Frog. So those are the 16 decks that are going to be involved in this thing. So, and I feel like just reading that out explains the first issue. The first issue is that not all of those decks are equal. Not all of those decks need support. So if I look on that list, I'll point out just two. I'll point out Mermail and Hazy Flame. Mermail, in my opinion, is water decks as a whole are in a fine position. They're not the best decks in the format, but they are pretty good at the moment, especially with the new Anima Adorned Archosaur and just the general kind of thing that Water do. Water can quite consistently loop you for several cards at the moment, or go second in OTK very effectively. It is a strong deck right now. It's not a weak deck. I hesitate at using the words tier because I know there is actually a specific meaning when you call a deck tiered. But water decks, I would say, if you were to gauge kind of where its strength is, I would say it has the potential to be a definite rogue deck. Like, it will likely win a regional. Yeah, it's not a weak deck at all. Hazy Flame, on the other hand, is a abysmally weak deck. I mean, it's a deck full of, I think, a rank 6 XYZ focused deck, and I was looking at the deck, I was like, wow, I didn't even know this was an archetype. And I was trying so hard to make a build of it, and you generally can't. There's just a lot of problems. Firstly, there's always an issue when you have a deck full of cards that haven't got normal summon, because essentially you need a normal summon Yu-Gi-Oh. If you don't use your normal summon, you have the disadvantage of drawing the cards you need and then actually getting them onto the field. There are exceptions to this with things like Mech Knights, where you have like 4 or 5 cards that can special summon, but then even with Mech Knights, they've got Orcus Gear, and it made them a lot stronger. So that's the first problem. Hazy Flame is a very unviable deck, and it's being put in a list with decks like Mermail, with decks like TG, Lightsworn. I don't like that personally, and I especially don't like it because the way I see it is this. Now, this is an assumption, but if you're doing a project like this, like if this is the kind of thing, there's one of two scenarios. Either this is a one-off, or this is the kind of thing that they're going to do over and over again. If it's a one-off, it's bad because it means that there are 15 decks who are very possibly not going to get support. Or if it's a thing they're going to do frequently, I don't see them, for example, just supporting all of these decks randomly. Because if you're going to be doing this every 4 weeks, it doesn't make sense to just support random losers. It makes sense maybe to support people that come second and stuff, but it doesn't make sense to support the losers. It makes sense to focus on the decks you're doing, or focus on the decks that are winning if you're doing it every 4 weeks. Which means that almost guaranteed, if your deck is one of the people that get knocked out in the first round, for example, a deck like Hazy Flame versus Fortune Lady, or even better, Dynamist versus Lightsworn, I'll be shocked if Dynamist beats Lightsworn, unless somehow Reddit brigades it. It means your deck's not going to get support. And I just don't like that. There are so many cool archetypes. Dynamist, for example, again, it's a really, really cool archetype. But I don't see it winning against Lightsworn. And even if it wins against Lightsworn, I don't see it winning the whole thing, which means what? If you're playing Dynamist, you don't get support for like ages? That's crap. That's crap. I'm sorry. I can't support that. And that's the problem I really have. I just feel like this creator card project, it's nice, but I feel like it's action for action's sake. It's something that you've pitted a bunch of decks against each other, and it's like a deck has to win, but it's like the problem with that is like then what happens to all the losers? I'd rather they just told me, for example, so let's assume X Saber wins. I'd rather we just got X Saber winning rather than you asking the community. Because again, this is the other problem as well. I'm not a person who believes in asking the community for opinions on everything, because the community is not always correct. One thing definitely that you find out in game design, and you find out in just working with customers in general, is that customers don't always know what they want, and they don't always know what they need. They will say they know what they want, but they don't always. As us Yu-Gi-Oh consumers, we might, again, I'm so sure a deck like Mermaid or Lightsworn is likely to win this. But in this list, those are the decks that I would say least need the support. There are other decks that need the support. Now, I get, obviously, there's going to be the argument that Konami needs money and they're doing it for customers and all this nonsense. But in reality, I don't think it changes much because it's one card. One card is not going to be a difference in the set. If you know there's one card in the set, you're not going to go and buy that set to get the card. You're going to go and buy singles. So I don't even think it really hurts Konami's bottom line that much. And so that's just, I'd say, another issue I have. That in general, it's like a bunch of decks are not going to get support now as a result. And it just rubs me the wrong way. And then finally, I just feel like this is, again, I kind of said it before, lackluster. All of this for one card, all this palaver just to get one card at the end. Like, if it was like the structure deck poll, I actually really like those, because in my opinion, even though the problem with structure deck poll was similar, Shadows ended up winning, and I don't think Shadows needed a huge amount of help. I think they could have made another archetype better, but whatever. But it's another problem. It's like all of this palaver, and what's the end result? One deck gets one card. And Konami could do this every 4 weeks, but I don't think they're going to do this every 4 weeks. I think this is probably going to be a one-off that they're testing. Maybe they'll do it 2 or 3 more times. I could be wrong, guys. This could look really stupid in a year's time, but I don't think I'm wrong. And so that's the problem I have. That's what kind of rubs me wrong about this Create a Card project. I just feel like it's a very pandery way. Like, they're trying to pander to their audience, but they're just not doing it effectively. It's like, if you're going to do action, if you're going to try and sort of make your audience happy and hit these decks, then do it properly, do it correctly, because otherwise it's like you're just gonna upset people instead, and also you're gonna do a disservice to your fans. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, so that's the point I have anyway. That's the point, the main kind of opinion I have this Create a Card project, and that's why I haven't really done much videos talking about it, because for me personally, I'm usually the kind of person, if I have an opinion on something I don't like something, I'd rather just not say anything, because I know there are going to be some people who are happy with this Create a Card project, and it doesn't affect me if they do it or they don't do it. So you know what, yeah, flow, you know what, guys, do it. Oh, just as a quick hint, guys, the deck that I actually would love to win is Cyber Angels. I don't know if you guys know, but I am a huge fan of fairy decks as a whole. So yeah, Cyber Angels is my favorite deck on that list, and that is definitely the deck that I want to win. I don't see them winning for a whole host of reasons. They're just not a particularly popular deck, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, so that's why I don't usually say anything, and so anyway, yeah. That's my opinion on the structure deck as a whole. I feel like I went off on a little bit of a tangent there, and I've kind of forgotten where I was going to go. But whatever, anyway, yeah. But then secondly, yeah, this is kind of linked again to the content I'm doing. Guys, let me know what other kind of content you want. If you've enjoyed this kind of discussion style video, let me know. I can do more of that. I do play a whole host of games that are not Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, yeah, League is probably one of my favorite games. I am not very good at League, but I do play it a lot. I play Apex Legends, that's another game I've started recently, and I play a lot of single player games. So like, yeah, let me know if you want to see some different kinds of content. I'll be sure to get that out for you. This isn't going to affect my daily schedule. I do like sticking to my daily schedule of deck profiles. I think it's nice. I can churn out a bunch of deck profiles really quickly. I've literally got a repository of like 200 to 400 deck profiles that is very easy for me to just kind of pick one out, edit a bit for the new format, and then show it to you, and they're all really unique. So yeah, I think I can continue doing that and have these videos alongside it. But yeah, guys, thank you all for watching, and yeah, I can't think of anything else that I particularly need to say. So guys, I will talk to you all soon. Peace.